What up, y'all? This is Dawg Brown, and before we get into anything today, just want to make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and also share if you please. Make sure that you follow me all over social media at Dawg Brown, and also at Nerdcyclopedia. Okay? Now, first up, I want to give you an update on everything that's been going on since my last video. Now, I've been working with a really great group of individuals who workshop each other's projects so that they'll be able to fine-tune works to their perfection. Alright? Now, a friend of mine, Dan Eakes, who is coming out with his Odyssey Inc. graphic novel and has a few days left on his Kickstarter, by the way, so make sure you go over there to, check it out on Kickstarter, and also support. He recommended to me the group to get feedback on my graphic novel. I'll be telling you guys at a later date what the title will be. So this was a fantastic idea, and while I like what I was coming up with on my own, I began to be concerned about how it may come out to the general public. So before I started the process of hiring an artist, a colorist, printing a book, and the whole nine, I wanted to make sure that the story even made sense. So I'll tell you one thing, guys. My first experience with the group, I was hella nervous. Here I am a novice in the writing space, and I meet these people, and some have already made and put out actual novels in the marketplace, and some even have fully formed thousands of page stories, and we're talking lingo that I haven't even considered or even heard of. The experience was really eye-opening to me, to say the least. One guy, Daniel Parham, has a novel already out called Hungry, some funny Hannibal Lecter type horror shit. So it's out in the things. Another woman in the group, Jessica, who's coming out with a crazy cool sci-fi story involving cat-like people. The premise of it is super interesting, but the fact is I believe she has over 1,000 pages already down, and I believe she hasn't even finished drafting the whole thing yet. So that's really cool. Shout out to Sean, who has some really great stuff he's writing on the religious side. Liz, who has some really great sarcastic dialogue to her stuff. I mean, I was laughing, hard at a lot of her stuff. Can't wait to see Brendan and Brandon's stuff and Annie's stuff, because I know they got some really good fire in the chamber to let loose with their projects. All this is to say that if you're really trying to find out how your material is going to work, find a workshop group that you could get feedback with. That's a really key element in honing your craft and figuring out where you're going with your story, and if it even is going in the right way. I can't talk, especially if you're trying to put a bunch of money into your project. I think I got really lucky with this group because not only do they give honest feedback, but they're also good people. Their feedback is to not tell me if they dislike or like my stuff, but if it actually makes sense on where it's going and how it's being presented, which is what I really needed. Ways you can search for groups, or Google, you can try to Google some in your area if there are any. Checking on Facebook to see if there's something on there that you may see, if you can't be in it with anyone in person. I know with this whole pandemic that's going on, we're in a state of flux, but I see a lot of Zoom groups that are out there for those who want to be safe at home, but nevertheless need that feedback. You can always create a group on your own by using these tools and getting with people that you can trust and also give honest feedback. And feedback doesn't necessarily mean that they are out to change your story. It just means that they're giving you options from their perspective in case you are unsure of some things in it. At the end of the day, it's still your story, and you can always do with it with what you please, because it's your story. What I've learned from this group since my first attempt at making a graphic novel is character development is very important. And also a term I've learned called headcanon that I wasn't even aware of. Headcanon is where you know where and how your story is going, but you don't necessarily have it down on paper yet, and it's all in your head. And when people start to ask you questions about the work you did, that doesn't make sense to them, but it does to you. That's a story in your head that either you forgot to put it in your own work, or just didn't present it yet to your audience for them to understand, so they don't ask those questions and say your work is shit. Character development is key, so your work isn't so plot heavy that it takes any emotion away from the character that they're following. I'm also happy to say that they gave me some good feedback on my characters having a voice, meaning that when they speak, they aren't just speaking generic dialogue. The characters have an individuality with them, that you know exactly who they are when they actually speak a line. Bottom line, get a group, y'all. It's super worth it. Next time I'll be giving you an update on my artist search, and I'll tell you about a 5-page preview I wrote that I made some thumbnail sketches for, and hopefully I'll be able to let you see some artwork from those thumbnails. I'm doing this because I need to visualize the work before I go full-fledged into the project. So we'll see exactly what comes out of that. So as always, make sure that you like, subscribe, and also share my video. Be safe, wash your hands, and don't let the apocalypse keep you down. If you're watching this video, that means you're still here, and at the end of the day, keep it moving. Make sure you follow me at Dawg Brown, and out. Peace.
I'm Eddie Kane, he's crazy, man, we both misunderstood. We both come from the hood, now, we good. Listen up, I went to college, and never was no college man or scholar, man. But damn, I did my thing filling out those college grants.